Got a great.
Welcome to Nothing Is Taboo. We are back.
Yes. Now I got on
We
my
are back.
I don't want y'all to see my dress now, so I gotta run over here really quick now. Cause I decided to wear flats. Now my deaconess flats.
We are
flats.
back.
How
We missed you guys.
Alright, y'all know how we do. We gotta get everything.
Get our
pulled up.
audience. Invite your friends.
We definitely need you guys to go in and invite all your peoples.
Oh, come on Facebook now. You're acting funny.
Yeah, because I got to make sure if they're not right. It says we are live. Here's one. Let's pull it up on here. Look. Oh, we got the tambourine tonight. Yes, honey. All right.
We missed you guys. How's everything going? Comment. Let us know. Also, if you're a business owner, make sure you put in your business information, contact information, business name, where you're located, because Chea has a few surprises that she's going to be sharing down the line, and we want to make sure that you guys are part of it. All right, so I just did something wrong. Hold on. We're adding people.
Yes, add your people, darlings.
I want you guys to do the same.
Listen, I'm an old lady. Help me out now. Go in here and hit invite, invite, invite. If you invite your friends, we will forever be friends and connected at the hip. I might get you a Christmas gift, might send you a cupcake or something if I see you out. Invite your people. Tell all your people to come and see N.I.T-Nothing Is Taboo, because tonight, before we get into the meat of the show, because we're going to also talk about habits and how they form your life. Great topic. She picked that one. So we're ready. Oh, we're going to spill the tea.
Hold it.
We're going to do some current events because I want to talk about R. Kelly and this band on Spotify. So if you know anything about the music industry or entertainment, I'm sure you'll want to come in and give us your opinion, because, I mean, that is a serious move.
Honestly, I didn't know anything about it till Chea mentioned it to me, and I was like, what? He did what?
Yeah, Spotify banned him.
So, of course, I had to do some research myself, which was just extremely shocking to find out what's been going on, what he's been doing. I don't know if the rumors are true. It's really, really sad more than anything. My gosh. You know, but my thing, when I was reading some of the stories, the first thing I thought of was Whitney Houston, how people used to make her look bad and talk about her when she was doing drugs instead of praying for her. So what I'm going to do is pray for R. Kelly, because clearly there's something going on with him that's not right, because normal people don't act like that. Normal people are not sexually attracted to 12, 13, 14, and 15 years old. That's just not normal for a male or female to be attracted to a child sexually, because that's not the way God intended. So you can tell he's got a lot of demons going on with him. So let's lift him up in prayer to help him to understand his faults. And you know, that's so many of us have that same problem. We don't, not sexually now. We always blame other people for things that go on in our lives. We can't take responsibility for what goes on. So we always, instead of us saying, you know, let me look at me. There's something going on with me. I've done something wrong. You know, let me be big enough to say I'm sorry. How can I fix it? But take responsibility and own up. If you know when you make a mistake, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But I'm going to give you a clear example. I had a girlfriend. She's going on her 5th marriage. And she was blaming every guy. And I said, sweetie, you're going to have to look in the mirror, because this is your 5th marriage.
That means she done took one of my husbands. That's why I couldn't find him. One of them went to her. Well,
now I can't say one of them was a bad choice.
But that would probably be the one I'd had.
The others, it wasn't a bad choice. It was just so much bickering. You can't always want to be right in an argument. You got to understand that. Take responsibility for your mistakes and own up to it. And just realize that you're a human being. You're going to make mistakes. You know, my husband and I have been together for years, and we used to argue, but we haven't argued in years now. It's like, I pick my battles, and I'm not going to argue with you for something that I know I'm right about. I'd be like, oh, okay, and just switch the subject and go on to something else. It makes life so much easier, because when you always bickering and arguing about something, you don't want to be around that person. The first thing you'd be like, oh, Lord, I don't want to go home from work, or I don't want to go to the office. You know, if you got that type of person at your office, you're not going to want to be around them. So watch what you do and watch what you say, because it has a big influence on your life and the people that you attract in your life. I remember a friend, an older woman, telling me when I was a little girl, count your 5 best friends on your hand. And the income that they make, that's the amount of money that you're going to make.
Oh, okay.
Because you're limiting yourself. So if you've got friends from different parts of life, I have friends that live in the projects, and I have friends that live in $20, $30 million houses. So I learned to surround myself with people who are going to influence me to help me to be a better individual.
Good point. I love that.
We're almost done.
Y'all inviting y'all friends. I know we asked y'all to do a little bit, but I need y'all to help a sister out. I need y'all to put in a little work. We got work to do. We got a job to do, because we're trying to grow our audience, because we're going to do some changes around here. We're changing formats. We're adding new things. The goal is to make sure that we can help you all out, which is one of the reasons why when we first came on, Tonya said, please, if you have a business, by all means, in the comment section, down below, down there, network, post your business website, post your graphics, a link to your social media. We don't mind, because if you have a small, yes, and if you got any specials or sales or deals going on, by all means, that, if you got contests, if you're promoting something, if you're having an event, you need people, if you want to connect, do it in the comment section. We don't mind. That's one of our ways of helping everybody else, because the more folks we bring together, the bigger we all get.
And the more we help each other, the more we can grow individually, especially if you have a product, you guys. Yes. Mother's Day is Sunday. Let us know your website. Let us know what you're selling, no matter what it is. Someone may be interested in buying it. A photograph like from Mr. D. Johnson, or maybe jewelry from Miss Asha Glam, our hair from Miss Melinda Dixon. There's so many things that you can get your wife, your significant other, your mom, your girl, your boo, whatever you want to call her, to let her know that she's a great mom and how much you appreciate her. Don't be cheap, guys. This day comes once a year.
Wait a minute.
Do that tambourine again, girl.
Don't be cheap.
This day comes once a year. You can take the time out to spend $150, $200 if you don't have $50 and make her a meal.
There you go.
Don't make her have to get in there to cook just for you to have a meal. Get up and do something special. Do something different. If it's just go downtown and get on a horse and buggy ride. We like little things like that.
Fine.
It's not really just about flowers and candy. It's about showing her appreciation. And we appreciate little things like that. We froze up again.
We froze up here, but I don't think we're froze here. Now, we're still moving here. It's this particular tablet. Sorry, but I think we can see the comments. So go ahead and put your comments, put your business. If you know, tag somebody. If they have a business and they're not on here, tag them, tell them to stay butt over here and join NIT, because tonight
nothing is taboo.
That's right. So nothing's taboo in business as far as the comments go, as far as the networking. I want you guys to put that in there, connect with each other, and help each other out. Also, we will also touch on a derby recap, because we were all super busy. If you notice, Miss Tonya was off for a few weeks because she was out putting shoes on the feet, the footsies of the kings and the queens all across the
I was
land.
keeping them feet foxies and feet
She kept
and the body
together.
spicy.
That's right. So
We had the lingerie going, the spices going, the test kitchen going. The spices are up. Our blends are ready to go. You guys, they are phenomenal.
Paprika and panties and shoes going. I tell you what, spice and paprika.
P&P.
That's right. That's a good Mother's Day gift. Get a little P&P. Okay, now it's sure take a turn. Y'all know we had some when Tyrone visited us that one time. So before we take a turn, so the thing with R. Kelly.
Wait a minute, I do want to tell you guys, this show is not scripted. We are talking from our hearts to motivate you guys, to help you to reach the next level in your life. So we want to bring you valuable information. If you have some suggestions, let us know. We don't plan what we're going to do. We just think of topics we want to talk about, and it's all live. So thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate every one of you. Invite your friends. Back to R. Kelly.
Now,
whoa.
Just so y'all know, these glasses ain't real. They were so cute, I had to get them. These lenses, I can't see nothing. So if I mess up, sorry y'all. But
I'll read it for you.
Thank you, because these glasses are cute and I wanted them. So I'm going to read a little bit of the article. And this article, I pulled it from Billboard because I had read it earlier. And this is the first one that caught my attention. So beginning today, May 10th, Spotify users will no longer be able to find R. Kelly's music on any of the streaming services' editorial or algorithm playlists. Under the terms of the new public hate content and hateful conduct policy, Spotify is putting into effect The company will no longer promote the R&B singer's music in any way, removing his song from flagship playlists like Rap Caviar, Discover Weekly, or New Music Friday, for example, as well as in other genres on mood-based playlists. Here's their statement. We are removing R. Kelly's music from all Spotify-owned and operated playlists and algorithmic recommendations such as Discover Weekly. This is what Spotify told Billboard in a statement. His music will still be available on the service, but Spotify will not actively promote it, right? We don't censor content because of an artist or creator's behavior, but we want our editorial decisions, what we choose to program, to reflect our values. When an artist or creator does something that is especially harmful or hateful, it may affect the way we work with or support that artist or creator.
Such as violence against children and sexual violence. That's why.
Yes.
That's why. Because the rumors is that he's grooming young girls, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. Little young girls to be a part of his sex domain. He's putting them in a house and keeping them in there. And one of the articles said one of the girls spoke out. So she's literally speaking because he wanted her to have sex with one of the other girls. And she's like, that's not what she was there for. She was there to have sex with him.
Not you.
Forgive me for laughing. But it's really sad because once you're a child, your mind is programmed. Whatever your teachers tell you and your parents teach you, that's all you know. So that's why I always say be careful what you do in front of your children, what you say in front of your children, because they're like tape recorders. So what he did is he's grooming them with sex. Yeah. And that's all these girls know. So when the new one comes in, what they do is they make her feel welcome. Just like when a pimp gets a new girl, the madam or the bottom girl comes to help them feel welcome. That's their job to do that. So she was just really upset. She said it made her sick to her stomach. So that's when she began to speak out. Not only that, I read allegedly that his manager, his publicist, as well as his assistant all quit because one of them had found young girls, and he said it sickened him to keep removing young girls from the facility. So like I said before, I didn't know about it, but I am going to lift him up in prayer because literally he is sick. You know, there's nothing in this world that would attract me to a child. And there should be nothing in this world to make him sexually attractive to a young female, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. I mean, these are kids. That's the last thing that should be on a person's mind is sex with a child. Yep. So that lets you know that that person has a sick mind, a pedophile, which is just demonic. So let's lift him up in prayer. Instead of talking about him, let's lift him up and pray for him that he gets rid of this disease that he has, because it seems like he's a sick person.
And I will say, you know, it is a really big statement for Spotify to do that. And I've been in a couple debates, well, I've been in a couple. Some got heated, some folks got in their feelings, and I can understand, especially if you're in industry, whether it's in entertainment some kind of way. Nobody wants, they're saying censorship. When I read their statement, they're not censoring. They're just actively choosing not to promote, to support. And see, that's my thing. I will never say he's not a great musician because the man created some hell of music. Let's be real.
He is.
However, his acts and his behavior cause me to not want to support, not want to hear. And I think everyone has that choice. So when I read this, Spotify as a whole decided to do that and make that statement, that's a very powerful statement.
It is.
Now, one of the things...
It took them a while before they took that step, though. Yeah. That's what shocked me, because these accusations came out 2015 and 2016. Here we are in 2018. So these are new accusations that have just come out against him, which are very damaging. So they're like, they just can't take it anymore, which is really sad for him. And like you said, he's an excellent performer and writer.
But his personal acts, caused him not to want to do business. And that's what a lot of folks need to understand. Just because you're a great artist or you do, that doesn't mean that your foul acts need to be ignored. And we have a tendency, especially our community, that they're trying to do it because he's black. Sometimes it's just because you're a foul human. Let's remove color for a moment and just look at the issue. His acts were, as a mother, I don't want to support someone who preys on children, on young girls. As a woman, I don't want to support someone who preys on young girls. As a sexual abuse and a domestic violence survivor, I don't want to support someone who preys on young girls. I don't care if it's black, white, blue, or pink. But I'll be honest, as a black woman, it hurts me even more because it's a black man. So I'm not going to cheer that on. I don't care how much I like this song. And y'all got to understand, 12 Play was one of my favorite albums. My daughter's 23. 12 Play was my favorite album back in the day. So it broke my heart that this is R. Kelly. But it's no secret. Those rumors have been in the industry for years. There was a video years ago which I saw, and it wasn't on internet, but somebody played the video and you could see. These things have always been
before the video came out. Remember, he took a 17-year-old to the prom, dropped her off, ended up going to McDonald's and picking up a 14-year-old, allegedly, is what people said. And the 14-year-old came out with the story that's like, who goes shopping around for a kid at a McDonald's? Who goes shopping around for a kid anywhere? So these accusations have been out for years. So, like I said, we're going to pray for Mr. R. Kelly, for him to get rid of those demons out of him.
But I will say
instead of talking about him, because
this story, it says folks need to be mindful. Because if these corporations, especially if they're making their money off streaming, and I can understand from a PR perspective and marketing perspective of wanting to cut ties and say this is where we stand, because you don't want that backlash. All these folks out, I mean, the ball is dropping on a lot of people. That Me Too movement has really put momentum a lot. And a lot of companies don't want to be associated. So you got to be mindful. So if you're doing some crazy stuff, you're going to pay in some kind of way. And that's just where we are right now. But I was just something when I saw this Spotify and I read that statement, I was like, yeah, they're taking a stance. I support them.
Until Chea mentioned it.
I mean,
what?
I have to,
who's doing what?
And it's their platform, and you have a right to choose who you put on your platform. So,
well, you notice how they use a lot of African American music in commercials. My husband, I says that all the time. He said, "Okay, they jamming." We've never heard R. Kelly's music in anybody's commercial. So they've been knowing this for a while because they're not giving him, that's right, opportunity they don't share his music. So I do understand why Spotify, and I'm quite sure Apple, all the other different music, streaming music companies are going to follow suit. So just watch.
I know. You know what? I've never even thought that they've never played music of his and I
None of the commercials.
Who would want to, be connected with that? That says a lot. Wow. Well, dang. R. Kelly, go get some help, boo. Because it's just, stay away from me.
We're praying for you. We're praying for you.
I'll tell you, go get you some help, boo. And stop picking up children at McDonald's.
So how was your derby?
Okay. My derby was so busy that I had to leave town the day after derby just so I could Woolfolk. Okay? Derby was good. It was a blessing to cover all those events. I had a blast. But it wore a girl out, and my age was showing. First of all, you little children that's running around here doing 4, 5, 6 parties. I'm like, y'all got too much energy. I can't do it.
There was a lot of parties this year. My gosh. You had a lot of, from Wednesday till Sunday, and the Sundays were like 3-day parties going on, and people try to hit all the day parties. And I go, why would you waste that money? Why don't you just sit at the first day party, have a good time, enjoy the people there? But I never figured this out. What are you looking for when you go out? I just will go to one place because, number one, I'm frugal. I'm going to pay money to go in this place, and I'm going to have a party. Y'all see me dancing, probably hanging from the chandelier, but I'm not getting ready to run from party to party. Number two, I don't want a DUI, so I'm not going to keep driving from party to party. So what are you guys looking for when you feel like you've got to go from party to party to party? A man or somebody to recognize you, a star? Come in and let me know.
I'd love to
teach me something.
Yes,
because that's something I never did. I was just like, well, I'm here. I already paid my money to get in here. I'm staying right here where I'm at.
Well, I was working. I was covering the events, and shout out to D. Johnson, the photographer, videographer. D hung with me, and I didn't bother him the next day because I said, he's probably mad at me because he was like, we have worked too hard. And then I said, let me check and make sure he's still alive. I worked him to death because we was tired, boss, okay? Now, I went, and I will say, there was some awesome events that I was honored to cover that specifically asked me to come and cover. I want to give a shout out to, let me see, what else did I? First of all, I got up to Arts, Beats, and Lyrics that came back in town to their host, Andre Lett, dressed the beatnik, follow the hat, he's on Instagram. Jabari, shout out to Tracy Johnson who have coordinated, Jack Daniels is one of their sponsors. Awesome event, they had it at the Young Center. The line was wrapped around the building. They were coming, even though it was over 12, I still saw people coming in. Y'all was still in line. I was tired, ready to go home.
Oh my gosh.
Great event. That was my official Friday night event. But prior to that, I attended Jonathan Johnson's soiree. That was a beautiful event. We'll be talking about that in the magazine. What else did I do that day? Oh, Get Palm did 2 great events. I attended and covered both of those.
I heard they were nice.
They were really nice. I mean, I'm gonna give a specific shout out. The reason I really enjoy his events is he always makes sure you feel safe. He doesn't cut corners. He's more concerned about quality over quantity, which is why they always sell out. Because folks know when they come, they're gonna have a good time. He's got food available, drinks, everything, but it's a safe, and it's a more mature crowd. And what I mean by mature, my children ain't there. And I mean, I see some young people, but they know how to act. And I'm not saying young people don't, but come on now, some of y'all can have some wild parties. We get wild, don't get me wrong. The Derby pre-bash, I said it was chaos, and he just tore up the room. We got footage of that. He did an excellent job. Oh my God, it was fabulous. So shout out to Chaos, who was all over the city. He has like 18 parties at the same time. I think they cloned him. I think they cloned him and just set him up. But I mean, it was some great events.
This year there was so many events, I just couldn't keep up with them. And people were like, why don't you come here? Why don't you come here? And I go, no, I've already got my day planned for Friday, and the day was planned for Saturday. And thank God I had it planned, because Saturday we got so much rain here in Louisville, Kentucky. It rained the entire time. And it was the very first time that it rained while the horses was running. And the news commentator said it early, and my husband reminded me, because he's a big horse fan, that it never, ever, ever has rained on the Kentucky Derby since it's ran. This was the first year, 2018, that it rained those 2 minutes while the horses were running. So we set a record for that this year.
And I mean, because I watching the race, I mean, first of all, them little horses was running, them little jockeys, I was like, I'm gonna go, because if it was me, I'm telling you now, Derby's cast, I'm like, well, it's muddy and I ain't getting my shoes dirty and I ain't going.
But if you're winning, you won't get any mud. But did you notice the horses behind the winner, because they kicked mud on them, so they was taking their goggles off, but the whole horse was muddy and the jockey had so much mud on them, because they're kicking the mud back on the people that are in the back. So don't lose.
Yeah, right. Now
that's the moral of that story.
I have to say, Churchill Downs did some changes to how you park and things, so I know that impacted some things. So I know we're gonna talk about that on another platform. So I did get to go around and meet some folks, and I did go out to the track, but it was just muddy. And I'm not gonna lie, a girl doesn't walk in the rain, and I don't do mud. It just ain't that serious for me. And that's just me being honest. So I covered all the other events all around the city. I covered a lot of the official Kentucky Derby Festival events. Chea was great. Sheila E, so sweet. Great event. And shout out to Magic 101.3, because they were one of the sponsors. And I see Hurley Roberts and Easy Bluegrass. They covered that, and Valerie Sickles. And they did an excellent job. Rodney Pitts did the photography. So that'll be in the magazine. Did an excellent job. Her band. First of all, she's 60 years old.
And she looked good.
Man. And she was getting it. Because I was like, I was talking.
Hollywood people with money always look good. He said, Hollywood will make you look good. Because I'd be like, oh, honey, she's so pretty. Look at her. He said, she's got money. That's why she looks so good. And I'd be like, okay, I guess you're right. But her skin was she looked really, really pretty. Hats off to you, Sheila.
It was a heck of a show. Just
Thanks for coming to Louisville, Kentucky, and showing out the Kentucky Derby.
And the folks, Chea Wagon. Did you get a chance to go down Chea Wagon?
No.
Well, I ain't enough
for you,
honey.
Can I tell you why?
Why didn't you go?
Because I was scared of the hepatitis.
Well, I can understand. I can understand.
And my niece was like, come on, go with us. And I go, no, I'm sorry, not this year. Because we have a hepatitis outbreak here in Louisville, Kentucky. And it seems like it's at every restaurant. So there's no place for them people to wash their hands before they made my sandwich. So I was like, nah, I think I'll pass this year. Well, that's me. I was very busy. Yes, I was.
I think it's Cox Concessions who does it. Did a
yes,
statement. And they had certain criteria. And I will say that because I'm nosy, I'm be looking who's back there. I saw everybody's prep was nice. So they had standards and stuff. So, and I did, a girl got down. So here's what I did, because I was on this diet to get my dresses. I was on this high protein, low carb. I ate, really healthy. And then I took all my kids, well, 2 of my babies, I have 3. I took my oldest and my teenager, and took my mom. It was the night of the zombie walk. Bought a galore tickets, and I had them go buy some. And so I took a bite of everybody's everything. I had to bite my mama's stuff. Let me have some. So I got to, enjoy some stuff.
Funnel cakes.
Yeah, the funnel cake. We almost came to slaps over, me and the kids, because they were getting
Did
hungry.
they put the fruit on top of it?
Well, none of us wanted fruit on it. Okay. And they were taking too much, and they were taking my powdered sugar, and I was like, I'm your mama, but you might be adopted if you keep. But that was the one thing that I was craving. And for some reason, it's something about funnel cake. I don't know if it just makes me feel young, but I've got to have a bite.
I like to smell that sausage with the peppers and the onions cooking. That just makes you like, make you feel like the fair or, you know, carnival food, but that just, you know, my mother told me years ago, if you're sick and your husband's going to work and you at home, she said, girl, don't be in that bed when he gets home. Put some peppers and onions on the stove so he think you've been up cooking and cleaning all day. And I come in the house and you be like, oh, that smells so good. So that's a trick for you ladies.
Oh, that's a good one. And you know, first of all, onions and peppers
Thank
is one
you,
of my
Mama.
favorite things.
And it makes the whole house smell so good. So try it, ladies. You got a man coming over tonight.
Oh my God.
Get your Keep It Spicy intimate apparel on. Girl, put them peppers and onions on the stove and saute. He come in that house. He ain't gonna be thinking about nothing. You got that Keep It Spicy intimate apparel on.
Peppers and onions.
Paprika.
Mother's
Day.
And the panties. You could just have the whole PPP going on. Peppers, paprika, and panties. PPP. Matter of fact, you can text him, boo, I got the PPP ready. He gonna be so excited.
Come on over. You ain't gotta bring no groceries. I got it right here.
Got it all for you. Yum, 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 yum. But I mean, I enjoyed the chow wagon. I enjoy getting out now. I did have a giant behind my mom. I put the picture up on social media. That made my night wonderful. I didn't care how much
behind your mom?
Well, behind my mom.
Oh, did you?
And the lady, she was so sweet. She said, I know you. And I feel so special. I feel like I was really something. I was like, thank you. And she was like, girl, I got you. And she just started putting the shots in it. I was like, oh, okay. I had somebody with me to drive, so I was like, thank you.
Well,
my night was
had to
wonderful.
drive home.
It was wonderful. So I sipped my behind my mama. They spent my money, and we just smoothed with people. But it was a great, so shout out to the Kentucky Derby Festival because the chow wagon was really nice this year. I love how they had the interest in security. I felt safe. And I want to point that out because we're coming into warm weather. You know, as a parent, you know, I got a grandson too. You know, you got grandkids.
The parade turned out well. Go ahead.
Let's
see. Talk about that too, because I heard a lot of people who did not go down there because of the shooting a few years ago. So we watched it on TV. We were in the test kitchen, but there was a lot of vacant bleacher seats. We noticed. So a lot of people are kind of staying away from the area, but I hate that. You people got to realize this is fun for the whole city. If you're beefing with somebody, don't go down there with the gun looking for that person. You don't even need to have a gun looking for them, period. Just let us, everybody who's there, have a great time and enjoy it, because bullets don't have eyes. So you don't want to shoot at somebody and shoot someone else, because that's a double charge and you're going to go to jail. So just leave the guns at home. Dee's laughing at us. PPP.
PPP.
So, you know, right after the Kentucky Derby, there's 2 more races that come.
Right.
One is the Preakness, and the other is the Belmont. The Preakness is held 2 weeks right after the Derby in Pimlico in Maryland. Shout out to my friends in Maryland. I'm going to try to make it up there. I don't know if I can. And then 2 weeks after that is the Belmont Stakes. So that's what they call the Triple Crown leg, because these races are 2 weeks apart. They're extremely hard for a horse to win back to back like that. So that's why we don't have very many Triple Crown winners, because they're running 2 weeks apart for 3 different races. So that's a lot of running, and it's a lot on a stallion to run that close together. Most owners do not run their horses that close together, but because of this race has so much money and the stakes are really high, they go out of their way to make sure those horses are ready to run that Preakness and that Belmont, and Belmont is actually in New York City. So shout out to our friends in New York. Thank you for tuning in as well.
Okay. Well, now see, so I'm watching the Derby, and you know, my mind's a little warped at times. And I just, for some reason, felt like the jockey leaned over to the horse and said, if you don't win this, you know we ain't gonna get home. And I felt like the horse was like, nee, you're right. Because some of the horses like, we're in this shit for life. Because some of the jockeys was like, oh hell. But I mean, it fascinated me to watch the race because, first of all, so horses, I found them to be very beautiful animals. I'm not very versed in horse racing, but I'm just more enthralled with the horse itself. They're huge animals. But they're just working so hard. I'm like, that poor little horse, if he loses, I hope they treat him right. Poor little baby.
They have to. Did you guys know we had a jockey who actually came in 4th place? He was the youngest jockey. He was born right here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, now that I didn't know.
Yeah, so my son bet on him just for that reason. He's like, oh, he's from Louisville. Oh, I got to bet on him. He did a great job. I can't think of his name, but shout out to you. You did a phenomenal job for his first race, and it was the Kentucky Derby, and you came in 4th place. So That was phenomenal.
You go.
And I don't know if you guys read, there was an African American lady who won $1.2 million
Hey, cousin.
that day.
Call me cousin. That's my cousin. What's her name? Because she's my cousin.
And everybody thought that she bet on the Kentucky Derby. What she did was she picked 5. So the pick 5 means you got to pick the winning horses in 5 races back to back. That's the first time that's been done. She was an African American lady. Shout out to you, ma'am. And she won $1.2 million. She tried to remain anonymous, but of course they wouldn't let her for some reason. So WLKY shared the story, and then my daughter sent it to me while she was at work. She's like, this could have been us. And I'm like, why come it wasn't?
I want to know how she did that. Hey, call me cousin. We can talk. We have a cousin. You can come on the show and talk about your win. Well, I'm glad she won. I hope it definitely changes her life for her, because And you
invest some of that money. Don't spend it all.
So she find her, whatever her name is. We need to find her. She needs to tune in next week as we're talking about business and investment.
Business, money, and investments. Yes, we're going to have a lot of information for you guys. So make sure you tune in. Information about finance, information about how to run a business, how to keep a business running successfully.
Yes. And
some marketing information.
Yes.
Is our special guest coming next week?
Maybe we will know, because we're gonna talk about business for about 2 weeks. And the reason for that is we just get so many between the two emails and calls and messages. Folks have questions about their business, and it's really hard to respond to everybody. And so I thought, let's just do some shows where we can answer questions, because we're going to encourage you guys to not only submit your questions to us prior to the show, but come in here and comment, and we will try to answer as many as possible. So we'll be giving you free marketing advice, free business advice. So you can ask specific questions that are specific to your business. We will try our best to answer. If we don't get an answer, then we will, respond. But the goal, or somebody in the comments may know. That's why we want you guys to network. You may have a question about publishing a book, and one of the folks could be a book publisher, a publishing company. Mm-hmm. So, those are the things we want to encourage you to do, to network and get to know each other and reach out and then break out of your box, out of your own little boundaries, and meet some folks all across the globe who can help you grow your business, your product, and get you a global audience.
Network outside your circle, because
the goal is never local, it's always global.
You always say, when you network in your circle,
oh, honey, yes, you just hanging out there. Let me explain something to y'all. And folks get mad, and I don't care. If you are setting up at events and you're setting up with the same people, you are not doing business. Y'all hanging out.
Socializing.
These are the same. And
socializing.
I need y'all to think. I understand. Trust me, I understand having small marketing budget, small business, but you need to be smart about that. Just because they invite you does not mean you need to show up. Does not mean you should have your business there. Not every platform is for your business, not every event. So pass up Sister Patty's pancake prayer breakfast in the basement of the church with 4 ladies of the church, the mother of the church, the pastor's wife, and his mistress are the only ones that are coming. And they're not going to buy your product. They're going to come over, look at it. Oh, girl, it's so cute. They may take a picture, and that's it. You've paid them to vend, and they've got your money. And you've wasted a day, set of time, business. You've wasted when you could have been out there connected.
My thing is time, because time is a commodity. It's something you will never, ever, ever get back. Spend it wisely. Make better choices, because that's what life is about, making choices. So that's one reason we want to give the valuable information will be given to you guys for the next few weeks, so that you can have an effective business, an effective life. Because if you don't have a good life, you can't run a good business. And that's what people don't realize. They're so focused on making money in business and making money, and then they get stuck in the same routine where they go to work, go home, watch TV, go to bed. Go to work, go home, watch TV, go to bed. It becomes a routine, and you're not doing anything to create a better quality lifestyle. And the only person that can do that is you.
Yes.
You can't look for your mate to give you a better quality lifestyle or to make you happy. You can't look for your kids to give you a better quality lifestyle or to make you happy. You have to look at you, that person in the mirror, to give you a better quality lifestyle. So what you have to do is work on you to be a better person. Work on you. Have hope in your life. Have joy in your life. Create happiness in your life. It's not found out there. That's all found within you. So stay focused and make sure that you're happy and that you're living, not just existing, because there's a big difference. Make sure that you're living. Because so many of us think that going to work, you're making a living, but are you living? Are you really happy? Are you really truly doing the things that you want to do in life? Are living that American dream is what the foreigners say when they come from other countries and come to America. They want to live that American dream, but we take so many things for granted. That job, the fact that you have a car, the fact that you have a house, and you're so upset because somebody else has something more than you. Ooh. It's all materialistic. Don't get upset. Don't get caught up in that. Stay in your financial lane, because I know I do.
No, that's right.
Stay in your financial lane and just create a happiness that you enjoy. Not something that somebody else is going to enjoy, or not something that you can't really afford. We are so busy buying things that we can't pay for, that we can't afford, just to impress other people. Don't stop. It's time to stop.
Anything in your pocket.
Foolishness. It's time to stop it. Just stop it right now. Stay in your financial lane and buy things that you want. Not because somebody else has it or not because it looks good. Something that you want. Man, I truly want that. And my thing is, if you can't afford it now, save up enough money so that you can buy it. But remember to put a little bit away for savings, that 80-10-10 rule. Give 10 away. Put 10 up for savings, and then the 80% goes towards your bills. So make sure that you follow a rule. Get you some rule. You can do 75, 10, 15, whatever you want to do, but have some goals in mind when it comes to your finance, because your money should matter to you. Because otherwise, Paul, Junior, and Ray will be coming over trying to get it all every opportunity they get. So learn to say no.
I really like
put it up
financial lane
and hide it. Yeah.
Because here's the thing, and I'm going to spin that around to stress and stuff we put on ourselves. A lot of times we put stress on ourselves.
Yes.
And it's stressful trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Ooh,
when you're trying to live like Harry and Linda, and you need to be living like Bob and Jean. Live like, and then here's the thing, material things come and go.
Yes.
And if the only way that you feel happy or successful is with material things, something's missing. Oh. Because if you only feel successful with those material things, what happens if your house catches on fire? Are you no longer successful? Are you no longer a good person? What happens if that car is wrecked?
Here's the thing with material things, there's always going to be something bigger and better that comes out. Always. Just like this right here. Remember when they first came out? Yep. They were so big, and then everyone wanted a little phone.
Yep.
And then they became flip phones and push phones. Now everybody has to have the biggest phone. This thing right here is a 5. And let me tell you, when I get a new phone, when my son buys him one. But now that he's bought a new house, he says, Mama, I don't have disposable income like I used to. So I'm still holding on to this 5. So if y'all listening, y'all can get me one for Mother's Day.
Well, now, like some folks that got special on stage, buy one, get the other 50% off. And
see, kids, pay attention. Delona Corey, pay attention.
Buy one, see, y'all didn't want to give your mama to have one. I'll put it in a cute little box. I'm telling you, she'll love it. But I agree with you. I'm
just not getting ready to go out and spend $1,000 on the phone, because this does the same exact thing as that $1,000 phone. I get the job done with this iPhone 5, and it's working good for me. So
yeah, also, if you have a business, instead of having a personal cell phone account, why not switch it over to a business account?
And you can write it off on your taxes.
And you get there are different perks for a business account. Your upgrades can be different. You have your own rep, so you can kind of work some. Trust me, you say, I don't want to pay that. I only want to pay this. They can finagle some things so you can save money. It'll open a little more doors. You can have more lines. Plus you can write it off. That's my point.
That's the main thing.
There are certain things that I want you to change over to business accounts.
Take it out of your name and just put it in your business name. That's all you have to do. It's that simple.
You can do it right online.
Yeah.
And if I have a phone shipped, a lot of times I needed a new phone on one of my lines. I didn't feel like going down there. Of course I had to go sign. But I called them and said, I'm sending so-and-so. They need a new phone. This is the max they can spend. I want this and that. They had it all handled. I went down there, and it was exactly what I wanted.
Good.
Because I didn't feel like waiting on it to be shipped. Plus, I could write it off. And I didn't have to pay anything for the phone. Also, your printing accounts like FedEx. If you get a lot of things, get a FedEx corporate account. I'm trying to think what else.
If you ship a lot of things,
yes,
get you a shipping account. Don't continue to go to UPS or FedEx with these packages. Get you an account. It will decrease your cost anywhere from 40 to 70%. It depends on how much you're shipping. But it will decrease that cost, and it doesn't cost anything to get an account. The account is free. all you need is a credit card to get it set up and just keep some money in there. So when you ship, they'll be able to get the money out of your account automatically.
And like your boxes and stuff, a lot of those supplies.
P.O. boxes?
You can, not just that, but also like the shipping boxes.
The shipping boxes you use, correct.
So definitely try to cut that down. If you're shipping product, try to get them where you can use the postal service boxes, the priority shipping boxes, or the UPS or the FedEx. Use their packaging instead of your own. Unless, I understand if you got to customize. But try to, cut. Shipping is a ridiculous. Shipping changes how I do business. Because there are certain things I've wanted to get, but I'm like, okay, it's $500 for a pallet. But the burger here is $450. I don't know. Well, I might as well get it here, But you can't always get it locally. So yes, shipping is a big thing. So you want to cut those costs and pass that savings on to your customer because they'll love you for it. Trust me. Shipping is a huge thing.
And keep receipts because I've shipped something. Just last week to Florida. Actually 3 weeks ago. The lady didn't get it till last week, so we had to track it and figure out where the package was. So anytime that you are shipping something of value, make sure you get a tracking number, and it's a good idea to keep your receipts in a box. So when it's time to pay taxes, you got them all right there. Makes it so much easier for you where you're not looking and separating. I have several bins for my bills, for shipping, for products. I have a bin for every single thing that I do. That way I don't have to hunt and look for it and write it down. And at the end of the month, I do a spreadsheet and list them in there. So when it's time for me to pay taxes, everything, here's this spreadsheet for that, here's this spreadsheet. It makes it so much easier instead of waiting to the last minute when you got 12 months worth of information right here. It's gonna probably take you 2 to 3 weeks to write all the information down for each of those entities. So make it easy on yourself. Do it month to month. It'll probably only take you an hour.
Well, let me ask, because I know you.
Because as I said, time's a commodity for me. Go ahead.
And folks come to you for you to do their taxes and business taxes. If you do not have those things sorted out, you're going to pay because if you got to sit there and sort your receipts, you're going to pay per hour.
More money.
So save yourself some money.
Yes. I've been doing taxes for over 20 years. That's one reason I am frugal. My sister and them call me cheap. I don't care. I'd rather have money in the bank and not have to worry than wonder where I'm going to get some money from. So that's just all my life. I was the kid. Let me tell you the story real quick. We'd go trick-or-treating. I'd have a bag of candy. January came, half that bag of candy was still in my drawer. They'd be like, you still got candy? And I go, yeah. And they're like, you didn't eat it? I go, no. They said, well, I said, well, I had to save some just in case I need it. I'm still the same way. I have to save it just in case I need it.
Because I feel like it's October 3rd.
That's me.
So you got to, okay. Well, we can
help you budget your money, baby.
Budget your candy.
Your husband or wife would be so proud of you, like, oh my God, you got that much money saved? Yes, I do. Yes, so I can do it. I can help you do it.
But there are so many ways that you can transfer some of your business. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, definitely want to save your fuel, your gas receipts and things like that, because if you're traveling for business.
Any work done on your car, your vehicle that you use for your business.
Utilities, if you have the business at home, you can write off, was it a third, I believe, yeah.
And the room in the house that it's in.
Yes.
The square footage of the room, and then they can calculate the electrical components that go, like the water, the heat, and different things like that.
See? And that's the kind of stuff we'll be sharing over the next few weeks, because we want you guys to get together. Here's the thing I encourage.
One second. If you have a business, it's better to have an accountant. Not go to H&R Block, because they're not there to save you money. Or Jackson Hewitt. They are not there to save you money. An accountant you can call, and they will help you in situations. If you take a trip and you fly, keep that airline ticket, because you can write that off on your taxes as well. There are so many things that you get to write off that you don't have to pay for. If you take a trip, you could go to England or China. And if you talk about business, that can be written off on your taxes.
Well,
so it's so many things that you can do in this world to help you be a happier person, have a better quality life by taking these trips and seeing things that go on in other parts of the country, because that's what made me so much more appreciative. It's like, wow, they live like that? Well, I am so glad that God blessed me this way and I have this. Or I go and say, ooh, I want to live like that. And it motivates me to go harder to do the things that I do so that I can make more money, so I can take more trips.
Oh, I love it. Now, I also, because we're talking about expenses and stuff, it can be really stressful if you have a small business and if you're working from home. I understand. I encourage anyone who has a small business and working from home to create an office space. You know, a lot of times you're trying to work in the bed or trying. If you can find a room, I remember when I first, years and years and years ago, and I was doing my Bath and Body stuff, and I needed an office space in the house. I took the walk-in closet that was in my bedroom, gutted it, and ended up putting a floating desk on the wall,
Wow.
my laptop, I had shelves, so that, and I could go in the office because I had little kids.
Oh,
running
yes.
around. But it became an office space. I was able to write that off because I had done the construction and everything, and it did not cost a lot. I set a budget, I think it was like $500 for everything.
Set a budget for everything you do. Go ahead.
And I was able to write it off, but then I had a dedicated office. I had them put electrical lines. I already had like one electrical pan, so I had them expand that and make some changes, and that became my office space. It was huge. You know, considering that I just need to go in there and type and print labels and things like that. But also, it makes you feel a certain way. It gives you a sense of legitimacy because you're working from home. You want to feel like, you want to be able to shut the door on the day. And I could come out of there and at least shut the door and feel like, okay. Even though I'm still home, there was a separation there.
Correct.
It's good for peace of mind.
Yes,
It's good
it
for
is.
your own self-care, because if you have everything spread out all around you, say in your bedroom or your dining room or your kitchen or anything, every time you go in there, no matter what you're doing, you're going to feel like work. Oh, I need to finish this, and you'll never get a moment's rest.
Or when you go in there, if it's in a dining room to utilize that space to eat, you've got to move your paperwork out of the way, and you might misplace something. If it's in your bedroom, when it's time to go to bed, you got to move that paperwork out of the way. So it's best to have a standard place for you to do your work, to get your work done, so that you can have a lot more peace. It helps you to find peace because you don't have to move your papers every time you gotta utilize that room. Just get a designated area so you can just set your papers out so that you can get work done and get it done properly without having to rush, without having to move it. Just designate a small spot, like she said. That's a great idea.
Because and that was, I went through that, and then what happened as things went on years and years ago, and the last few years, I decided, I need office space, and that's what I did. I wanted to be away from home because then it became, I wanted that separation in my day. I want to be able to say, okay, I'm off, now I can go home. Because for me, it became a mental thing. I felt like I was never, ever off.
Okay, we froze up. They can't see anything, but they're listening. Sorry, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hold on, we're going to straighten this out. Give us a few minutes.
Hold on, let's see. Because I'm still moving on here. I know that one will always freeze up.
Okay.
Are you?
I got it. She
Okay.
said, I can't see anything, but I'm listening.
Oh.
Go out and come back in. Maybe that'll help because I think I'm moving. Mine's is moving again.
Yeah, we're
so
still
check your
moving.
phone. Check your phone.
We don't want to make Facebook mad, but
Thank
we're
you
going to
guys
blame
for
them.
tuning in. Thank you
But
so
we're
much.
going to blame them.
We appreciate it.
And here's the thing, when it comes to self-care, and the reason I keep going back to that, for me, that became something that I neglected.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then when you neglect self-care, then you're super irritated, you're tired, your business
You cannot
suffers,
run a business effectively.
you're wearing a million hats, and I just felt like it's never stopping. And then I had to start putting things into place. And one of the things my development coach, Casey Fowler, big shout out to him, had me do, was do it like a time audit and just be honest with myself. And start looking at where I was spending my time.
Woo, yes.
And then it became, okay, when you spend your time, what makes you happy?
Mm-hmm.
The more I started doing that, I started realizing, I'm spending too much time doing that. I don't
Yes.
want to do that. You know, I'm just like, oh God, I didn't even realize I was doing that.
Outsource the things that you
Man.
don't like to do.
Yes.
Outsource to someone else, and it will simplify your life, your business so much. I don't want to know everything.
I don't need to.
I don't want to even try to do everything. I don't even want to be around and know it all because it irritates me. But if you can't get it done or it irritates you to get it done, outsource it and have somebody else do it. It makes things so much simpler because the whole bottom line is you want to be happy whatever you're doing. If it's working for someone else or running your own business, you want to be happy and have peace of mind. I just can't imagine myself going into work every day, hating my job, hating the people I'm working around, because you become bitter, you become irritated, and when you get home, you'll take that out on your kids, your husband, your wife, your family, whoever that may be, and I've seen that happen firsthand. A friend was working for money, making six figures, and I'm like, yeah, but you come home every day cussing and fussing your kids, and you know, and it showed. So 6 years ago, she did quit her job. She's not making as much money, I am seeing bitterness coming back in her, but I'm like, you're doing what you enjoy. Stop it. Because some of us get so hung up in monetary and making a certain amount of money and keeping up with our friends, as we said, because my friend makes this, so I have to make this. No. I thought about that, Derby. I was working so hard, and I said, you know what? This is enough for me. I've done good, and I'm going ready to rest, and I'm getting ready to enjoy myself. So many of us don't realize you've got to take care of you, stay happy, or keep happiness within you, because it's not found outside of you. And make sure that you take time to relax and enjoy what you're doing. Because if you don't, you become bitter, and you won't like doing it. And then it becomes a chore. And when it becomes a chore, it won't get done. You know, like the dusting around the house, you know, that's a chore. That's why I don't get done it.
And let's be real. And you start off in a business or venture, and you know that it's fueling that passion, but because you're wearing so many hats, you're not taking care of yourself, everything's piling up on you because you feel like I gotta do all this. The enjoyment is gone. Because you can't focus. Here's what I've learned, and God had walked me into all this. Like you said, outsource. I have no problem saying I need someone to do this, and He's got me there. So there's a lot of things. Just on the last few weeks I've been meeting. We're going to have an entertainment company. They're going to handle my management booking. There's a whole lot. But it used to be a time I didn't want to give that up because I felt like I had control. It's my vision. It's still my vision. I've just made sure that there are people who understand the part of the vision I share.
Make sure they understand what you're asking for. Don't give them full control.
No.
And then they give you a result, and you be like, that's not what I want. You still have to have your hands involved in it so you can guide them to understand what your vision is. So I understand what you're saying.
And
so
you gotta have that line. Here's
so don't blame. Don't say that Chea and Tonya said, well, y'all told me to outsource. Yeah, but you still got to follow that baby. But you're not giving it 100%. Just give it maybe 50% or 30%, and tell them your vision, what it is, and let them do it.
And you don't have to tell them the whole vision.
That's what outsourcing is.
Yes.
Or make them sign a confidentiality
That's
agreement.
it.
Because I know
As
I've
Beyonce
done
said,
that so many
you gotta
times.
sign a non-disclosure just to sit around. I carry them around, and I know it sounds people say, when it comes to your vision, your dream, you have every right to protect it. And I'm gonna this is how I weed folks out. There's a few ways that I weed folks out because I don't have time. Time is like it says a commodity, and I ain't got it to waste.
Can't get it back.
When folks come to you and they say, "Oh, I want to do such and such," first of all, you need to tell me what you want. Because I just don't meet with people. I don't have time to just sit around and meet with folks. I mean, you could waste a whole day just sitting around. Who does that?
Pre-qualify that meeting.
Yes. And then, you know, I get all kind of messages. But let's meet. First of all, a lot of times I'm like, I don't even know this person. Who are you? Who sent you? First off, me for what? You need to tell, because business is business. I don't care how long we know each other. Business is business. You need to know what they want, what you'd be meeting, because not all meetings, you don't even need to be in person. You might be a panel on the phone.
10, 15 minute phone conversation.
At the most. Yeah. Because of that we get in the biblical time. And then when folks come to me and ask me certain things, if I think they're trying to hem and haw, the question that always changes the game is, what's your budget? If they have a budget and it's about getting work done, they have no problem telling you. If they get irritated or hem and haw, they're going to waste your time, and they can go do that somewhere else. You have every right to guard your time, your business, your vision, and you have every right to say no.
Yes.
Because folks will try to, just because they think they know you, or they feel entitled to you, that you're supposed to, come and do this for free, come and do this and that. And, you know, there's no equal exchange there. There's no collaborative effort. They just want to use you. Please, guard yourself, guard your time, guard everything you want to do. Because if not, that way, you'll start to resent your vision because you'll be so tired.
Keep talking, Chea.
Yeah, you will be so tired, and it'll start to irritate you because you want to pursue your dream. You don't want to have to weed through this stuff. But once you get into a resentment phase, then it becomes a chore for you to even pick up the books you need, or to do the work, or go appear here, whatever it is. And that's not fair to you. No. That's not fair to your dream.
No, not
so
at all.
Definitely guard your time and make sure you use the keyword, what's your budget? That always works.
Educate yourself on anybody that you bring in your world, that you bring to your brand. Make sure that you have checked their back.
I'm sorry, I just had to come to Jesus.
I can't even talk now. She done shook the tambourine. Make sure you check who you dealing with, because you can't trust everybody. But one thing I want to share with you guys, this book right here is really powerful. It's not that big book. It's only about 200 pages. Making hope happen. It's creating the future you want for yourself and for others. Because so many of us look for other people to create our future. I can't look for Chea to create my future of what I'm trying to do. Only you know that vision, as she said. Guard it. But this book will give you so much insight and so much help to help you. And here's a passage I want to read really, really quick. It's really short, but it's one of my favorite ones. Hope matters. Hope is a choice. Hope can be learned, and hope can be shared with others. But a lot of people don't want to learn. We think that we know it all. We get stuck in, well, I know how to do that. Let me get that done. But the future will always be better than the present, and understand that you have the power to make it so. So if you don't go take the necessary steps to make your future better, it's going to stay the same. Get this book. I think you can get it online and read it, and I'm quite sure you could get it on Amazon, but read it. It's not very long, but it gives you so much help to help you to understand how to have a better future and create the future that you want, and help others create the future that they want. This is a book that I want everyone to read this month. It's not very expensive, so just check it out, because honestly, in order for us to grow, we got to help each other. And that's one reason we're here with Nothing Is Taboo, because we want you to grow in your personal life and your business life. And you can't grow your business until you take care of yourself. So, you guys can do it. I know you can. Believe in yourself.
And you have every right to do it.
You have the power.
I definitely want to stress
in
that.
life.
Because so often I feel like we're told, especially women, don't do this, don't do that. You have every right to pursue your dreams and be happy and take care of yourself and remove things that are a hindrance to that. That's you have an assignment. You put on earth, God gives you an assignment. So until you get on that path, you're kind of out of order. You know, everything that we go through, of course, is a lesson and it's preparing us for that. But, you know, until you realize, okay, I can say no to this or I cannot do this, you're going to kind of be stuck. You're going to be stagnant.
Don't feel obligated.
No,
You're not obligated. Not at all.
You're not.
Especially not to a man who hasn't put a ring on your finger.
Oh, no.
So don't make him feel like you are his footstool, because he'll begin to treat you like a footstool.
Well.
So step up to the plate and speak out so that he'll understand what you're looking for. And like I said before, if you've got kids, what's the name of the book again? If you've got kids and he's around, he's playing stepdaddy. Don't let him neglect them kids, because you are a package deal. But until he puts a ring on your finger, you're not obligated. The name of the book again is Making Hope Happen. Create the future you want for yourself and for others. It's by Shane J. Lopez. Phenomenal book by a phenomenal person. Once you get into it, you're not going to want to put it down. You can get this read in a weekend. But I kid you not, you're going to enjoy it and say, wow, that was phenomenal. Shea and I are going to try to bring you a book each month. I said month. We can really do this in a week, y'all. But we're going to bring you something each month, because reading helps your mind. And one thing we don't understand, your mind is a muscle. You've got to exercise it. One way to exercise it is by reading. If you don't exercise that muscle, just like the muscle on your arm, what does it do? It gets flabby.
Gonna be like my arm.
And it becomes like waste.
And let me just say, when it comes to books, because I understand as a mother, or you know, if you're a business person, you're busy, audio books. I keep the app on my phone.
Amazon has them.
Oh my gosh, and keep those earbuds in. Keep that Bluetooth. Play them through your car. The more positive stuff you feed to your mind, the more you push the negative out.
Absolutely.
I tell people all the time, you have a mini computer in your hand at any given time. I Google any and everything. I Google the dumbest stuff. Why do toenails grow to the left? I just want to know. You can never know too much. But as far as your business and your dreams, your vision, or just questions, Google, read up, because the more you educate yourself, the better you are. I'm telling you, self-education should always be a priority. When you have downtime, instead of sitting there playing games or
watching that drama on TV.
Yes.
It's not going to bring you any money or help you to be a better person.
When you're jogging, when you're cleaning, put an audio book on. Let it play through the house, play through the speakers. Even if it's just something that's telling you, you are fabulous, you are great. Because see, you keep hearing that. And that's going to show in what you do every day. The more positive you put in, the more negative you can push out.
Amen.
Because people will try to dump their negative on you. So you got to kind of put a shield of positivity around yourself. And say, not today. Not today. Not today.
Not today, not tomorrow, not in my future. So, get rid of it. So what you got going on this weekend, Chea?
Actually, you know what? I'm kind of woo-signed this weekend because it's magazine deadline time. So I'm actually starting to write the feature piece for the next issue, for the June-July issue. So we're doing derby recaps. We got some featured articles. I attended so many great events. I'm featuring those folks and doing pieces on them. So it's a working weekend. I'm going to take Mother's Day off, that's for sure. Saturday.
Yes, I hope all mothers do.
Yes.
Do not cook. Let those kids, husband,
Yeah.
boyfriend, family, somebody else cook. Somebody else said May the 19th, the Beer Fest is on the river.
I will be there, and I am supposed to appear at your food truck. He's paying me in barbecue, y'all.
And I'm sorry, I won't be there. I'll be at the Spring Fest, which will be downtown.
I'll be there too.
In Old Louisville area. Tomorrow I'm going to be at the Offley Market, which is going to be downtown. Friday evening, they're going to do half a day Friday as well as Saturday. After that Saturday evening, I'll be at Big Mike's Comedy Blast. I still have some tickets available. Tickets are $10 until the time of the show. They go up to $20. He has Andrew Kahn on the show, you guys. He is funny. Google him. He's on Instagram. He is extremely funny. This is a show you don't want to miss, as well as I will have handbags and shoes and our spices and a little intimate apparel for you to stop by to get for your significant other. I don't know about the intimate apparel for your mother, but the shoes and handbags for your mother, the intimate apparel for your boo. So you guys come on by and see me, Big Mike's Comedy Blast, Hilton Garden Inn. Show starts at 8. We still have tickets left. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you, we love you, we love you. We see you next week with some more valuable information from Nothing Is Taboo. Bye.
Thank you guys, and make sure you share this video. Invite your friends, invite your family. Definitely network. Any events you've got going on, put that up. We love you guys. Thank you. Mwah.